Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to High Ground Gaming. I'm Cody Campbell, and today we are unboxing and reviewing the RK61 wireless mechanical gaming keyboard. I'm going to start out by listing the specs, then we're going to do the actual unboxing. I'm going to give you my initial impressions of the product, then we're going to skip forward a couple weeks once I've had some time to play with it. I'm going to give you my review and High Ground Gaming's final score of the product. Stick around. The RK61 is a 60% keyboard. It comes with 61 keys and one of two colors. You can get it in black or white. There are also some backlight options. You can get it in single color backlighting for $55 or you can get RGB for $65. It also comes with your choice of 3 switches. You can get red, blue, or brown RK brand mechanical switches. So this is their own in-house brand of mechanical switch. I believe they're trying to match the specifications of Cherry MX switches, but I haven't had the chance to try them out before. I got the yellow backlit version with the brown switches. I like brown switches. I write a lot, so brown switches are good for me. Red switches are considered ideal for gaming, so that might be what you're looking for if you're looking to get this as a gaming keyboard. It uses USB Type-C for its wired connection. That's really good because that means it's going to charge faster and it's going to have a faster connection when used in a wired mode. It also has a battery, so you can use it wirelessly. It connects via Bluetooth 3.0. 3.0 is not the best since Bluetooth goes all the way up to 5.0 now, so we'll have to see how that actually translates in a wireless game, whether or not we're going to have latency issues. But that's something we'll talk about more in the review section. It also has a 1450 milliamp battery that promises 10 hours of wireless gaming performance. That seems a little high for a battery that size, so I'll have to check that out when I'm testing the keyboard. Let's get into the unboxing. Okay, so immediately we've got sort of an opaque bag with the keyboard displayed at the top, just inset in the cardboard. Open that guy up. Yeah, looks nice from the outset. Expected it to be heavier with the battery in there and everything, but we'll have to see how that goes in a moment. Underneath the keyboard, we have the user manual. Some instructions for commands that you can use with the keyboard. Now, let's see, there should be a cable in here. So, yep. Underneath, we've got a keycap remover and the USB Type-C cable. And that's what we got in the box. Let's check the length of that cable real quick. I always like to check the length of the cable. That's not bad. It's pretty long. What is that? 5 feet, 4 feet, something like that. Let's take a look at the keyboard. Got plastic housing on the outside, rubber foot pads, no adjustable feet. I believe I saw online that this is an 8-degree incline, so that is the incline that you get. You can't adjust it. Let me see. They've got the functions printed right on the top. So here's the function key, and you can see that the secondary functions are printed right on the face of the keys there. Switches feel good. They do feel like mechanical switches, so that's good. Anytime you're dealing with a non-name brand switch, that's always my biggest concern. It does feel like a good mechanical brown, so I'm happy with that. It's got an on-off switch right in the back center there. And it looks like the USB Type-C port is dead center back. A lot of them have them sort of off to the side. This one's right in the center. Royal Kludge. Okay, time to plug it in, play some games, and tell you whether or not you should buy this guy. All right, I've had the Royal Kludge RK61 mechanical gaming keyboard for 2 weeks now, and I have a few things to say about it. Admittedly, not a lot of things, but a few things. First off, I want to go back to the build quality. I mentioned before that it was a little light, even with the battery, but I have to say that during the time I was using it, it doesn't move around. It's not something that you need to worry about at all. And the plastic housing, even though it is plastic, doesn't have any flex to it whatsoever. It's actually very solidly built. The USB Type-C cable is not braided. That's something that would have been nice, but again, this is a budget keyboard, so corners get cut. I want to start by talking about the process of setting this up for Bluetooth because I found it a little bit confusing. This card that they give you does have some instructions on it. They're not entirely clear. It makes it sound like you need to hold down the FN button and the Q, W, and E keys in order to put it in pairing mode, but that isn't quite right. It also has a QR code for you to scan with your phone that's supposed to take you to a video describing how to pair it, but when I tried to do that, the link was dead. I actually ended up on Reddit to figure out how to do this, which is something that I think should have been in the manual, but it's okay. It wasn't a big deal, and it's actually really simple. You hold down the FN key and either the Q, W, or E key. Now that's because this actually has 3 Bluetooth profiles. So you hold down FN and Q button, and that will allow you to pair the first thing. So say you want to pair your PC, you do that. Your phone, you do FN and W, and then your tablet, you do FN and E. That way you can just switch between different paired devices, which is actually pretty handy. Next up, I want to talk about the switches. Now, these are RK brand browns in the one that they sent me because that's what I requested. And they feel good. They're supposed to be Cherry MX clones, and they don't feel exactly like Cherry MX switches, but they're close enough. Unless you're coming straight from a Cherry MX keyboard to one of these, you're likely not going to notice a difference. And if you're coming from a membrane keyboard, then this is a serious upgrade. These switches feel good. They have good tension. They're very smooth. And I never really had to worry too much about them not coming back fast enough or anything like that. My experience gaming with it was pretty good. I played a lot of Borderlands 3, which I like testing keyboards with because it's really fast-paced and action-y, and you're gonna notice any latency in those sharp movements that you have to do. I did feel a skosh, just a tiny bit of latency when I was using it wirelessly connected over Bluetooth. That's kind of what I was worried about, and it's honestly to be expected. For most casual gaming, you're never going to notice any latency, and even when you do, it's really not a big deal unless you're playing competitively. Now, for competitive gaming, the latency might be a little much, but to be honest, if you're really into competitive gaming and you really want those fractions of seconds shaved off, you're not going to find a $55 keyboard that's going to scratch that itch. Now, the edition that I have is single color lighting. This yellow is the only color that you get. It does have 17 different lighting modes though. So you hold the function key and the dash key here, and you can switch between different lighting. And really, that's most of what I have to say about it. So, without further ado, let's get to the verdict. Should you buy it or not? So, the RK61 is a pretty good keyboard, all things considered. It's not fair to take a $55 keyboard and compare it to, say, the Razer Huntsman Mini or the HyperX Alloy Origin 60 that I did a review for a couple weeks ago. Those are in a league of their own, and they cost, in some cases, twice as much as this keyboard. I will say that it is pretty feature light. There's no control software for the lighting. There's no RGB. The housing is plastic. The keycaps are ABS. The cord is not braided. And for me, worst of all, there's no feet to adjust the incline. But all that considered, it does have genuine mechanical keys, which are difficult to find at this price point. Most of the time you go on Amazon and you search for mechanical keyboards, anything under $55 is going to be a feels like mechanical switches keyboard, and that is not the same. These switches feel good. This keyboard feels good to type on. Every time you compress a key, it feels good. It also has a wireless option, which even though it's a little higher latency than competitive gaming might require, it's good enough for gaming for the most part, and the fact that it even has that option at this price point is pretty cool. So keeping all that in mind, we are giving it a 7.5 out of 10. It's hard to give it higher than that because of all the features that it doesn't have, but it also doesn't feel fair to rank it any lower because of the price. It is affordable. This is a good mechanical keyboard if you don't care about features. It's solid and it works well, and you'll probably enjoy it. All right, we hope that you liked our review. Please like and subscribe down below. We're a growing channel and we really appreciate that interaction. It's gonna help us grow the channel, and it's gonna help us keep making content like this for you. And while you're doing that, why don't you drop down into the comments down below and let us know what is a feature that you absolutely need to have on a keyboard? What's something that you won't even consider buying the keyboard unless it has this feature? Okay, thanks for watching. Happy gaming.